Welcome back to The Price of Business. I'm your host, Kevin Price, talking to you about you and your business. We want to mention that today's program brought to you in part by SittersEtc.com. That's SittersEtc.com. Going to our next segment, we've got Chris Folayan. He's with a company called AMallforAfrica.com. You know, and all of a sudden we've heard so much about the Far East and its entrepreneurial growth and development and the Pacific Rim. And all of a sudden in recent years, we're hearing more and more about Africa. Here's another story. And Chris, welcome to the program. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us a little bit about Mall for Africa.
Well, so I'm, I guess, an entrepreneur at heart. I'm from Nigeria, but moved to the States about 20 years ago. And Mall for Africa came out when people from my home country in Africa, which is Nigeria, were asking me to buy items and bring it with me or try and ship it to them, and so on and so forth. So to cut the long story short, as a software developer by heart and a thinker and someone who likes solving problems, I came up with a software application that people can use in Africa and purchase items from U.S. and U.K. retailers.
Okay.
So that's how Mall for Africa came into being.
So let me ask kind of a cynical question, but how is this any different from using any other web portal, for a store that's anywhere else? You know, I have a friend who likes to buy stuff globally, and he uses websites to do that. What would be the advantage of Mall for Africa for someone in Africa?
Sure. So most stores in the U.S. and in the U.K., over 90% of the stores, the big chains, do not ship to Africa. If you go on to a website, let's just say a Macy's website or a Carter's or Nordstrom's or you name it, all the big chain sites, if you go to their website and you say you want to have the item shipped to a country like Nigeria or a country in Africa, that option, first of all, is not there. So you can't go to the Macy's site and say, I want to have my items sent directly to me in Nigeria. Not available. And then you have the issue of credit cards being issued in African countries not being accepted on payment gateways from most of the U.S. and U.K. stores. So you have that as another issue. And the third one is, even if you have a site that does ship to Africa, they basically just drop the item at the port. So when it gets to the duties and custom clearing and all that stuff, they do not do any of that. But we do everything from A to Z. So we do the payment, we make sure your item gets to you, we clear it from customs, and so on and so forth. So with our platform, we guarantee that the item will get into your hands without any extra fees. You don't have to worry about if the site ships to Africa. You don't have to worry about customs in your local country. You don't have to worry about any of that stuff. And we guarantee all of our shipments. So even if you get your item and it's, not functional or it's, the wrong size or anything like that, we take care of all of that. And nobody does that.
Yeah. So basically you've vetted all the stores that's willing to treat an African customer like an American customer.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's pretty huge. I had no idea. It shows you how ethnocentric I am. So that's pretty cool. So how old is your company?
It's 3.5 years old now.
And how many users do you have?
We have over 100,000 users.
Okay. And I'm looking at the site, and it's just an incredible list of stores. I mean, based on what you told me, you would think that people were really getting neglected, but it looks like thanks to your site, that's not happening.
No, it's not. It's all across the board. Most sites honestly do not ship to any African country. So we look to the customers to push us and let us know what sites they want to shop on, and we make it happen.
Yeah, absolutely. What is the is the end consumer your customer? Is that your only customer, or do you obviously you work with a lot of stores as well to make it happen? But kind of give me an overview, the scope of who your customers are.
Well, our customers are actually individuals. We focus on individuals. We don't focus on wholesalers or stores. We just focus on individuals who want to purchase items. Excuse me. So it's literally everybody. As long as they have internet access and they're looking for something, they can use our platform and shop for it. So it's everybody, from age 16 all the way up to 55 or even above. As long as they're looking for a product and they want to get it at a decent price, because even some of the items, on our site here or on the sites, if you go to Nigeria, for example, they're 3-4 times the price, the actual MSRP. So, people are willing to utilize our platform to buy it at a decent price, and they can select the color they want and the size they want, and they're not mandated to buy only what's on the shelf out there. So it's everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks so much for being with us, Chris. By the way, the website is AMallforAfrica.com. That's AMallforAfrica.com. And Chris Folayan, he's been our guest. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
When we come back, much more for you. Do want to remind you, best content here shows up over there at usdatareview.com. While there, like it on Facebook, follow it on Twitter. This is The Price of Business.